Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my webinar. Today's webinar is being recorded. It's a live webinar, and it's all about setting up for the best start for the new financial year. So welcome to this webinar, and I'm going to do my very, very best to make sure it's an engaging webinar for all those who are attending. Today's webinar is some of our topics that we're going to talk about. Today's webinar is about having good customer insight and the importance of having good customer insight, as well as understanding customer foresight. We need to look at today, understand what is the industry trends, target markets and competition. And also we're going to talk about packaging up your products and services for good revenue streams, because I think that's really important. And maybe it's time to look at your business plan or refresh your business plan for future growth, because we have had some changes over the past 12, 18 months with definitely with the situation we've had with lockdown, especially here in Victoria. Okay, my name is Colin Wilson and I am hosting this webinar today, and absolutely love what I do. For those who that do join my webinars, you know what I'm all about. Today's webinar, as I said before, it is being recorded. For those who can't attend the webinar, they'll receive a copy of the webinar. And what we'll do is feel free to ask any questions throughout the webinar, put it into the questions box, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions throughout this webinar. All right, so a little bit about our business, about Key Business Advisors. We're all about taking business from good to great, and our purpose is to take customers on a journey to help them improve their business through all aspects of employee engagement and performance. And this, we really stand by that, because it's really, really important. Some of the areas we specialise in: business advice, professional sales training, HR advice support. I have a wonderful team here of 5 HR professionals who are out every day supporting lots of small, medium-sized businesses with their employee needs. Okay, so let me get into this webinar, and the first topic I want to talk about right now is having good customer insight. So you might ask, well, what is customer insight? Well, okay, customer insight is knowing what your customers want today, and I guess it's also about understanding the demand. So, we all have our products and services, but, as we know, sometimes some products go better than others, but what is the demand? I think it's really important. So you need to know, what do our customers want today? It is about making life easy for your customers to purchase your products and services. So being customer centric, it's like, well, this is what we offer, and we want to make life easy for you to make a decision based on on what we recommend. It is about how they perceive good value for money. So again, when we're offering a product or a service, the customer in their mind has got to say, well, this is good value for money. This is going to help me as a consumer, or this is going to help me grow my business. Whatever your product and service is, you've got to demonstrate it's got good value. And one of the things that I always talk about is try reverse engineering how your customers see the values through their eyes and not yours. So as business owners, one of the things that we do is we look at our products and services and think, well, okay, this is great. We work out our margins, all the above, but we also need to see, well, through our customers' eyes, what do they see? A good way of knowing you've got great products and services is obviously the Google reviews that you get and those endorsements. And for me, be on top of your game plan of what is trending today and stay ahead of your competition. And a really good example of that is, due to this pandemic, online, we've been doing webinars now for the last 5 years. Free webinars, but getting into things like online training, which is what we're about to get into, and other things like that. You've got to look at what is trending, and basically what do I need to do as a business to stay ahead of my competitors. Okay, creating better customer insight within your company. So this is really, really important, and this is about how you get your whole company focused on what they can do for your customers. So it's not about one person, it's about a whole team on giving that delivery, that end-to-end delivery to your customers. Think about how your team engage and approach your customers, and the way they speak to them, and the way that they service them. It is all about giving that great customer service. The way your team asks questions and makes recommendations, is it aligned with your company values of what you demand? And the way your team communicates to customers through the sales process. So that's right from engaging with the customer, saying hello, right through taking them on a journey to finding out what their needs are, demonstrating, presenting the solution for them, helping them make an informed decision right through to delivering to those promises. And most importantly, the way your team delivers on commitments and promises. So I've mentioned that, but it doesn't just happen. Being customer centric and having good insight, it's not about, here it is, we've just made a sale. It is about executing and following it from an end-to-end process, making sure your customers are looked after. I think what's really important is some of the outcomes of having good customer insight. And I encourage you, recommend that you have this conversation with your teams, when you have your meetings. But, the good outcomes of having really good customer insight is better customer engagement experience, and then that higher dollar value is spent per customer. Because I think when we've got good insight and we start asking great questions and we're explaining what we can do for the customer, and we'll talk about add-ons, upselling and cross-selling shortly, but I think it's really, really important that we can try, and if we put the time into our customers, we'll get a high dollar value spent. More customer loyalty for repeat business, and again, we see it constantly out there. We see some great companies that are growing where they've got really good customer service and they're not losing customers out the back end. We also see there are times where there are customers that are bringing business in through the front end and then they're losing it at the back end just as quick as they're bringing it through the front end. So it's really important to have that insight throughout your entire business to make sure that we get that repeat business. I made a comment before, the Google reviews, endorsements, referrals, and recommendations is a good sign that you have customer insight within your business. And it's your customers that grow your business through your products and services that they buy. And if they like what your company offers, then they'll come back for more. What's really interesting, I do a lot of engagement surveys and stuff like that. A recent one, I asked a person in the room, who pays your wages? And that employee said, it was the owners. I said, no, it's not the owners that pay your wages. It's your customers that pay your wages. Because if you give really good customer insight, good customer service, and you have great insights to their needs, it's them who purchase through your company enables the employer to pay your wages. So I think it's sometimes something we need to constantly remind our staff that it is our customers that pay our wages. So when you've got really good insight and and it's working for you, I think that's great. But parts of a business keeps evolving and moving. So I think it's really important to have really good customer foresight. So insight is what our customers want today. To me, foresight is what might our customers want tomorrow. All right, and I'll give you a few examples of that shortly. But foresight is about knowing what your customers want and looking for or may want tomorrow, as I mentioned before. So what can you foresee? So what products or services can you foresee within your company that is going to help you stay in business? I think a great way is to ask your best customers and your team for advice. And tailor some solutions for better products and services. So, we've always grown our business in our key business advisors by when one or two customers ask, hey, Colin, is this something you can do or something you can offer? Then obviously, you listen to your customers, and then we've gone and developed products. Then we've tested it back with those people who've asked. Once they've got their endorsement, then we roll it out as a professional service. It's a great example. Again, it's about how the customer perceives good value for money. So again, they've got to see it works. And as I said before, my comment there, maybe test the waters of customers first for reassurance of the value you want to achieve with them, and are they happy? Would they endorse this product for you? Again, you must be on your game plan for what is trending and in the market to stay ahead of your competitors. And if you think about it, companies with really, really good foresight are disruptors. And a great example I can use of that is Uber, right? So our taxi industry has been doing the same thing for so many years. And then what happens is Uber pops up and they got really upset because the taxi drivers, they rallied Parliament Parliament to say this is unfair, and the airports and everything like that. But Uber had really good foresight, and that's what they did. They jumped into the market and they really hurt the taxi industry. Another great example is Domino's Pizza. So there used to be something like 380 Pizza Huts, throughout Australia. I think today there's only about a dozen or so. But Domino's Pizza come up with an opportunity, like an app, that you buy a pizza, and then through your computer or through your phone, you can see how when your pizza's arriving. All the things that these guys have done, they've made life easy for the customer. So they've had really good insight and foresight to make life easy. I hope I'm making sense. So creating better customer foresight within your company, again, what that will do is increase customer engagement and experience. It will get a high dollar value spend per customer, which I think is something that is a lot easier to do. Get the existing customers to buy more, and more customer loyalty for repeat business again, which is really important. The Google reviews, endorsements, referrals, and recommendations will come. And it is your customers that grow your business through your products and services that they buy. And if they like you again, they'll come back and buy more. So this is an example. We're part of market culture, and this is where we get a lot of our data from. But the customer-centric model is really, really important. So as you can see there, if I start in the green, customer insights. And when we implement customer insight throughout a business, what we have is, as you can see, to the extent which employees monitor, understand, and act on the customer's needs and satisfaction. So we want to have really good insight with our business that, this is what we do. And foresight is, to extent which employees monitor, understand, and act on potential customers' needs and opportunities. So, what do they need tomorrow? And if you don't have those products and services, then again, this is all about empowerment, engaging your team. What do we need to do as an organisation to actually grow? I talked about competitor insight before, so to the extent which employees monitor and understand and respond to current competitors, strengths and weaknesses. And again, the big one is if you've got competitor foresight, I'm elaborating on more than what I've already done so far in this webinar, is to the extent which employees monitor, understand and respond to the new market entrants and potential competitors. So that's the Uber effect, if I can say that, in what happens. In part of their market response index, they talk about, for an example, the customer-centric model, peripheral vision. So the extent which employees monitor, understand, and respond to trends in a large political, economic, social, and technical environment. Now, who would have predicted COVID coming in and being a big disruptor? So that's something that we can't control. We can't control our government elections, so who wins and who doesn't win. It's all based on a voting system. We can't control interest rates rising and falling. So all these things are outside things from a business or an organisation that we can't control. We've just got to work with. I think what's really important, what we've got down there in the blue, is just understanding, well, okay, to have this good customer insight and foresight, and understanding our competitors' insight and foresight, and should things go wrong through that peripheral vision, and right as well, what is really important is having some form of strategic alignment. So to the extent which employees understand and act on the vision, mission, objectives, and strategic direction of the company. The next step is about collaboration. So, to where we've got employees interact and share information, work with, to assist colleagues from other work groups to collaborate to deliver on that strategic alignment. And what's really important is that empowerment to where employees are able to make decisions for the best for the customer without explicit approvals from senior leaders. So this is all about getting your business model right and getting it heading in that right direction, that people can make decisions that follows the strategy within the business. I'm hoping I'm making some sense and love a bit of feedback. If you're going to give me a bit of feedback as well. So if we put all this in place, then effectively what will happen is a lot of boxes get ticked. So we've got good customer satisfaction, we've got good insight, we've got innovation, we've got new product successes and good sales revenue. And foresight, again, is that innovation. We look at our competitors, insight, if we work on it, we'll come up with some profit growth, profitability and sales results. And you can see, down into the blue that, right at the bottom two of that strategic alignment and that cross-functional collaboration is we make good money within our business, which is what business is all about. Okay, so I hope that I've educated you a lot more about insight and foresight of what needs to happen within a business. My topic 3 is about understanding industry trends, target markets and competition. Okay, so my first slide is about understanding what our industry trends. And again, all of this is something that you can put into some sort of form of what I call a strategic business plan or Maybe you need to refresh your business plan. But with COVID, many companies have been forced to pivot their business. So what is trending in your industry? So depending on what your industry is, you've got to look at what's trending. And I'll look for evidence that will help you go after, good opportunities or a niche market. So what can you do within your business that you can go after some form of niche market to have that bit of point of difference? Good marketing says don't follow what everyone else is doing. Look at what they do and then try and create a niche for yourself and stand out. So don't follow the same types of marketing that they do. Try and find something that's going to make you stand out, which becomes more appealing for your customers. Find out what your potential customers are Googling. So, we've just gone through a really good exercise with our company, and happy to share with you that our business is growing, which is really exciting, and we've put a 3-year plan together on how to double the size of our business. And I've used the key stakeholders within Key Business Advisors, that 2 HR consultants, the team leaders of Alison and Maya, to help contribute to that, and also through our marketing as well. And what all that is all about is about working out, well, okay, what do we need to do to stay more competitive? And one of the things that we did with marketing, especially with Emma, which was absolutely fantastic, was we started looking at what are people are searching for. So, and again, that is a great way of having really good foresight for your own business. What are people searching for? Do we need to tailor some of our products and services around some of those key words of what people are searching for? And then put some marketing campaigns behind it. That's a great example. Do you have a good range of products and services that customers want to buy? So again, we look at our market. I love doing training. That's something I love to do. And we run public classes of how to manage and motivate and sales workshops. But obviously with COVID and being restrictions, they haven't continued on as strong as they were in the past. So, okay, what we need to do is we need to look at creating some of that change with those products. I'm still going to run them, but probably less frequently. And then maybe go more online, and as well as creating a course that people can do at their own self-paced. All of that is about looking at your competitors and work what's trending, and then how do you set your business up for success. Look at are your competitors, look at your competitors, are you competitive in your offering? So I want to make sure that is really, really important, and look for gaps, strengths and weaknesses to leverage from. If you're struggling with this, sometimes what is really good is get a bit of outside help if needed. So get somebody, a professional, to come and help and look at your current business model and go and make some recommendations. Sometimes I think it's worth having that third party, and that's something definitely that we do in this business. So even though I'm a third party to many businesses, I believe in it. I bring other outside influences into my business to seek their advice, get their professional opinion, and then obviously we act on it. So look at your industry trends, look at what's working in the market for you, and look at your competitors and what are you missing out on. And a saying that I use is, what are you leaving on the table? So, by not looking through your industry trends, what income are you leaving on the table by not doing it? Okay, and then the next thing is looking at your target markets. So it is very, very important that to understand your customer demographics and what you want to attract. And one of the things I talk about in the professional sales training that I do is about hunting and fishing for opportunities. So if you want to go and catch a whale, you wouldn't go up a creek with a 10-pound line, because it's never going to happen, right? So I think it's part of your strategy is look at your target markets. What is the ideal type of customer that we want to attract to our business? In our business, we segment what we call an A class, B class, and C class type of customer. We don't do it through dollar value, or some companies do that. What we do is we look at the size of the customer and the opportunity. So a great example is an A class business would employ 75 people above. B class would be from 15 to 74, and a C class is like 1 employee to 14. 3 different needs, 3 different types of categories, and that's how we segment it. So, so you've got to know who and what you're targeting. I think is important. And again, you can structure your marketing around that as well. So, and you might look at the client and also some industry sectors. And again, part of your business plan, if you're doing a business plan, you need to look at the type of clients you want to attract to your business and the industry sectors you want to attract, and then that's what you go for. You may want to create a persona of the ideal client, and that's something that we do in this business through the categories above, A class, B class, C class, as well as the industry sectors. So, we've got a good dozen or so personas of the ideal client of this is what we're looking for. So when we come across this type of client, we know our strategy on how to approach that customer and what is most likely the customer is going to purchase from us based on the size of their business and the different types of growing pains that they go through. So again, this is all about strategy. Look at some vertical industries and the type of client you want to attract to your company. So, I think this would be good. And is there any markets that you're not into that you could go after that could be a good opening market for your business? Based on those decisions that you do, and I'm very big on doing that as a collective group, create a marketing plan behind your target segments and industry sectors, and then execute your strategy. Start marketing to those type of clients to create that power of attraction, because all this is about creating lead generation for your company. If you've got good lead generation for your company, then you can grow. And again, that's all part of the strategy moving forward. Yes, you need to understand your competition. And one of the things that I'm really big on is, you don't need to go out and check your whole competition out there, but maybe choose a couple of competitors, maybe one that's similar to the same size as you, and then somebody you aspire to become like, that might be bigger than you and to grow. So pick 2 or 3 main competitors. Think about having that competitor insight and foresight. Look at what they do really, really well, and what might they do in the future that could be a bit of a disruptor. Again, you design your marketing strategy, and don't, as I said before, don't copy your competitors. Dare to be different and have a point of difference. I think what's really important is you want to set some clear goals and objectives around this, and then get your whole team involved. That will help you link your strategy to action. Now, I'm going to give you a good example of this. So, in this business, we're an outsourced HR business. We like to go out to our clients, work out of their office. You want to be there for them, and we've got a team. And during the pandemic, one of the things that happened was a lot of companies would go to Fair Work or go to an industry association, and they'd be on hold for a good 20-30 minutes. So what happened out of that was, we had a lot of people contact us. So we're very active with doing these webinars that I'm doing and marketing campaigns and increasing downloads from our website, try and help people. And all of that, if I look at our competition, one of the things that's really happened is our clients have really come to us and said, can you help us more? And it's been an absolute fantastic journey, because what we've done is we've been there more for our clients. And when someone rings, you actually get somebody who's got history. So if you go through, sometimes you go through an association, you're talking to somebody who doesn't know your business, they've then got to collate the information, go and talk to somebody, and then maybe get somebody else to call you back. That alone during the demand of the pandemic has been very fruitful for our business, and that's something that we've really gone down the path of enhancing our services to make that more attractive for our clients. And if any of our clients are on this webinar, hopefully you can echo what I'm saying and agree, but that's something we've certainly done. Another thing too is, during this pandemic that we've just gone through, the opportunity of things around, for an example, helping companies improve their people and culture, I think has been a big opportunity that we've done, but we're really going to emphasize that more so. And I think the other thing too, which is that, is now the mental health and well-being. Now, we're not counsellors or anything like that, but certainly redirecting our clients to organisations that might have, for an example, and want look after EAP, employee assistance program, and stuff like that. That is important. That is all part of the solution offering that we recommend. Okay, so I hope I've entertained you enough and explained enough about what I've just gone through, and this is all making sense. If we have a look at topic 4, this is around packaging your products and services for good revenue. So again, what we've talked about is insight, foresight, understanding our trends, and now what we're about to do is package your products and services that's going to have a lot of power and attraction. So packaging core products. So again, some of the things we talk about is look at what is selling well. So what What are people buying? So what's working really, really well? And you might identify what is not working well and look at the reasons why. And I just gave a good example of that with our public workshops. Maybe you need to alter, revisit, or refresh your products that are not selling well. So, and it makes it really hard if you've got a lot of stock of something that's not selling, but you've got to try and clear it and move it through and not have that obsolescence of the stock that's sitting there doing nothing. Look at new products and services that you can introduce to your company. So again, what else can we bring that'll be a strength to our bow in the organisation? And I really encourage that this is something that you workshop with your leaders within a business, because I think that's important, and then start to act on it. Identify ways that you can better package them as a good solution for your customers. So again, this is about listening to your customers, finding out what they want, and then making some recommendations. And just as I said before, trial some of that with your clients. You want to look at quality for upselling. So again, consumers of today, people will purchase based on, I believe, on the way that they're educated. So I always say you should have a good, better, best solution in a company. So this is a good solution, probably at our more lower entry level, and then we've got a better solution, and then we've got our best solution. Car manufacturers of today normally have a good, better, best option. So they have the entry model car, then maybe the sports, and then maybe the luxury as a good example of that. So there's three, you can buy a Mazda 3 and get it in 3 different ways, and you look at something like a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz, well, then you can start to customize the car the way that you want it. So again, you've got to look at your products and services and look at the quality of them, and it's an opportunity for upselling. Remember, I always say quality over quantity. So if you've got high quality products, then you know that that's going to be better for the customer. Always recommend what is best for the customer based on their needs. So don't push something down a customer's throat that they don't really need. And that's all about fact finding and asking the right questions to your customers to identify the need. People buy on what is recommended, so always refer to a case study or another customer like them. So as part of your sales process, let's say, you want to be asking questions of your customer, what's important to them, what are they looking to achieve, and then, as you're building a solution for them, test the water with them, give them a case study of another customer, what you've done just like them. And if they say to you, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for, then you know you're on the right track. Present and demonstrate the benefits of your recommendation. And I don't think there's enough, a lot of people do enough of this of today. Us consumers, we go and buy a product and, here it is, this is the price, especially if we're going shopping. I think in today's world, the companies that are really good at training their staff and then where they can do really good presentations, they're the ones that are really benefiting and find it quite easy to actually upsell them into a high quality product. 9 times out of 10, I could be wrong with some clients on the webinar, but the higher the quality, the better the margins are for and the revenue streams for a company. And then let's have a look at our add-ons. So for cross-selling. So in today's world, I think consumers are always looking for a bundle or some sort of package deal. So you might have a variety of products and services where how do you package them up, and then you make it easy for your team, your staff, to have those conversations about some of our package deals. Think about some add-on products or services or even warranties that can go with your recommendation. That's going to make life easier for a customer because you're helping them with the whole solution. I have this theory, or I call it, I talk about this in the sales training, the milk and bread theory. So when someone goes into the shops, I've got to go and buy milk and bread before I get home. And then when they get home, they realise they're out of coffee or dog food or cat food or something like that. So the milk and bread theory is that the customer that comes in is only just thinking about milk and bread, not anything else that they might need. So I think what's important is it is about your salespeople or the customer service people who are talking to your customers. By asking questions, they will be able to identify other opportunities. And then when they identify that, they can present and demonstrate the benefits to these recommendations. We can package this up for you because you said to me that this is something else you've been thinking about, but and try and persuade them. or part of your recommendation. Most importantly, be honest. Build that trust and follow a good sales process, so the customer doesn't feel like, if I use the word, we don't like to be sold to, we like to make our own decisions, and I think that's the modern way of today. But I think what we do want is we want someone to explain, this is what you're going to get, and that's part of the good sales process, which is my next webinar for next month. Refresh your business plan. So again, this is, we talk about having good foresight. So what happened for many of our customers after COVID hit last year is, well, the business models changed. And I actually just wrote an article, a newsletter blog, which went out at the start of this month, which was around running a hybrid business, because I think that's now part of the new business model. You've got to run some sort of hybrid business. So what is important is about making sure that you refresh your business plan for growth. Excuse me. I've also had companies that have not had a business plan, it's all been in their head. So to try and explain to their staff, this is what we need to do moving forward. I've been workshopping with them on how to recreate a business plan and make that work and become part of their strategy. And that's that strategic alignment that I spoke about in that customer-centric model before. So I think, when we talk about customer insight, foresight, and what's trending, and then having a fairly good sales process in your business of recommending and packaging up your products and services, you've got to sit back and ask yourself a question, what's going on with my business? And I'm part of the Advisory Board Centre in Australia, and this is one of their business growth cycles model. And as you can see here, we've got strategy and we've got aligned activity. So if we have a look right now, where is your business at right now? It's a good question. Is your business emerging into the market? Have you got a new business that's coming into the market? And if you have, well, okay, what's our strategy to make sure it's successful? It might be growing. So, yep, our business is growing, and so like, how do we leverage from that? So we want to create growth within our business, or is it changing? So changing is about, well, we need to pivot, diversify, bring other products or services in. And I think, all the conversations I'm having with our clients at the moment, the ones that I'm dealing with, a lot of them are about, well, Colin, we're growing and we're changing at the same time. So even more reason to actually put your ideas into some form of documentation so you can work on the plan moving forward. Or is it exiting? Now, an exit strategy could be the two directors wanting to exit their business, and again, that would have good reason to refresh a business plan, to put that plan in place, and I'm working with a few clients on that at the moment. Or is it exiting because the demand of the market is not there anymore? But one of those four categories, and it might be a combination of one or two, but something to have a good think about for you to take back and go, well, okay, this is what we need to do to keep growing. So what does your new model look like? So, questions I ask all of our clients are these following questions. Has your business model changed post-COVID? And I'm just going to put it out there that, we have a great case study I can give you is we have two types of clients from the same industry. One business owner has gone, right, we're going to start creating some change. We're going to go hard on the market, and they're growing substantially. And that's what runs through the veins, the blood that runs through the veins of this business owner, because he's very wired and he's very driven. And then we've got the same industry, another business owner who's being a bit conservative, and they're waiting for things to improve. Now, I see that as a danger, right? Because you can't wait. You've got to really get that business model moving forward. And I've advised that person on that. I've told them, you need to get your act together and start being a bit more aggressive to the market, because for those who are waiting, then they're not going anywhere. In actual fact, their competitors are taking more market share from them. So it's really important that you understand that. So has your business model changed post-COVID? Do you need to run some form of online stuff within your business? And a lot of online companies are popping up left, right, and center. So, and I don't know if anyone else on this webinar, but Jesus, man, I'd probably delete 5 or 6 emails a day of someone trying to sell me marketing services. What does your hybrid business model look like for those companies out there? And that's a work-life balance, working from home, working from the office, and things that you need to do. And again, that is, I wrote, as I said before, an article on that that's had lots of high nutrition of people reading that article and making comments and giving me some feedback on that. All positive, which is good. Can you see new business opportunities? And I think that's the thing, like, we're in 2021, going into 22. What's our 22 strategy? Where are the new business opportunities? And then again, what goes into the mix is, what about, your marketing mix, of all the P's, your products, your pricing, your place, your promotion, positioning, processes, and people. So I think it's, it's really important, the 7 P's, what are we doing to make things happen? So do you need to refresh your business plan, and what does it look like for the next 3 years? Now, when I talk to a business owner, I say, well, where's your vision in 5? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you want to retire? Do you want to grow? Do you want to work 4 days a week? What is it you want to do? Do you want to buy acquisition and buy more businesses? That's entirely up to you. But right now, what does the next 3 years look like? And then how do you share that with your team? Having the vision to refresh your business plan, I think, is really, really important. And we're in June, July right now, new financial year starting, good time to do it right now. But, where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years as a business owner? And then again, I'd say consult with your key stakeholders or leadership team to discuss the opportunities. It's really important you have those conversations. Maybe even workshop it, develop a strategy for the next 3 years. Take half a day and workshop that with your team. Or what I did was I did it in blocks, 2-hour blocks over, so it would have been 4 times 2-hour blocks, and consult with the team, get their ideas, and then I've delivered to that. Who do you want to get involved and to take ownership to help and support you? Where do you want to grow and expand? And be entrepreneurial, get advice to support, to execute your thinking, which is what I've just what I've done and recommend. And if someone's struggling, how do I do a business plan or whatever, then that's something I can definitely help you with. And there's a download. So if you want, from this webinar, you can download, a tailored business plan template of what we would recommend in a business plan. And this is just basically my 12 steps. I would add more stuff in and customize a bit more from our customers. So I hope you have enjoyed this webinar, and I would love to know if you've got any questions. But if anyone's interested, I just want to put it out there that business plan consulting meeting, this is what I charge. I'm happy to for those on the webinar who want some of this support, I'm happy to, looking to refresh your business plan, happy to certainly do this at a reduced rate. Okay, thanks. Oh, okay, beautiful. Hope you relay will be available. Would like to watch again. There you go. Thanks, Tina. I've got a really good positive comment there. And then, yeah, based on our webinar, if you like this webinar, then we've got another one coming up on the 27th of July. This is one of our workshops. So it's not a webinar workshop, how to manage and motivate staff through our HR process. If anyone's interested, they can go to this. And do we have any questions? So any questions based on the current webinar that I've just gone through, feel free to add any questions you want to you want to go through. And, I'll put it out there, and I do this with all my webinars. If someone would like to have a conversation with me, and you feel free to book a 15-minute free chat. I'm happy to have a conversation, give some guidance. Or if you're looking to, as I said before, try and reshape your business for 22 and beyond, then give us a call. Our next webinar is about understanding the value of having a good sales process. And there's my 5 key topics: how to prospect, engage with the customers, how to network yourself into opportunities, and how to use marketing methods to leverage more sales. And I think, if you go to my website and you've got a lot of free download information, this is how we create our lead generation in this business, and it just seems to get stronger and stronger each month. How to present the best solutions to a potential customer, and then the big one, which everyone wants to know, is how to handle objections and close the sale. So I think I'm running a little bit ahead of time of our webinar, which is good. So normally when I have 2 people, it takes an hour, but when it's just me, it's 45 minutes. But better to finish a bit earlier rather than go over time. But That is based on the webinar that I've done today. I hope you get huge value out of the webinar. Thank you for attending this webinar. And if there's anything we can do, myself or the team at Key Business Advisors, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. So enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the week ahead, and good luck. Thanks very much. That concludes our webinar for today.